and welcome back to my channel. I took a weekend off last week as I was preparing for the start of the new school year, but now I'm back, and this weekend I'm in one of my favorite places on earth, Mackinac City. There's so much history here and so many stories to tell. I'll definitely be sharing them in future videos. You might get Mackinac out. Today though, while at the marina and Conkling Park, I'm going to talk about one of the great masted ships of the Great Lakes, Le Griffon. The story starts with René Robert Cavelier Sieur de la Salle, a French explorer well known in the land formerly known as French Canada. Back in the late 1770s, he wanted to create a fur trade monopoly in the Great Lakes region by finding the Northwest Passage, which would be an all-water route from the Great Lakes to China and Japan. To do this, among other things, he decided he needed a masted ship to go where only canoes had gone before. He decided to build a large-scale, European-style sailing ship to complete his task. The 17th century Barque would be the first full-size sailing ship on the upper Great Lakes. La Salle knew that he would have to build his ship above the imposing Niagara Falls. If you have the opportunity to enjoy and view these majestic falls, you'd easily understand that logic. Le Griffon, named for the mystical creature, was built in the wilderness, unlike most ships of the time that were built in the shipyards on the ocean. There was much adversity for La Salle and his workers during this time. The builders suffered from the intense cold and a lack of supplies. While La Salle had many admirers, he also had many enemies who were envious of him, and these individuals sought to ruin him. There was a constant threat of attack from the local American Indian tribes, specifically the Seneca. There was attempted sabotage, attempted murder, and even a plan to burn the ship. Luckily for La Salle, a local Indian woman, whose name has been lost to history, foiled this particular plan, and Le Griffon was launched early to escape the dastardly deed. It was armed with 7 cannon for protection. La Salle, a priest named Father Louis Hennepin, who wanted to convert the Indians they would encounter, including the Seneca, and a crew of 32 men, began the maiden voyage. Much of their course was uncharted, especially for a sailing ship, as opposed to canoe travel. Once in Lake Huron, Le Griffon and her crew ran into more problems. They were becalmed in Saginaw Bay, which means they're unable to move because of a lack of wind. When they were finally able to escape the doldrums, they continued on their way, but continued to run into issues, including a bad storm. They finally made it to Mackinac Island on August 27. Huron and Ottawa Indians enthusiastically greeted them in over 100 canoes. Unfortunately, by this time, La Salle had lost trust in his ship's captain, a man known simply as Lucas. In the middle of the voyage, however, the choices were limited, and La Salle was unable to replace him. 8 months before the voyage of Le Griffon, La Salle had sent 15 men ahead with a large amount of goods to trade with natives for furs. When they arrived in the Straits area, La Salle learned that these men had deserted with a share of those goods, heading north. 2 of these deserters were rumored to be up at Sault Ste. Marie. La Salle sent his most trusted crew member, Henri de Tonty, and another 6 men to chase them down. Honestly, Tonty could have had his own complete video, probably his own movie someday. Tonty took so long that La Salle had to leave him behind, though he did leave his friend a message. They traveled to the Green Bay area and met up with friendly Potawatomis, where they traded and loaded up Le Griffon with pelts. When it came time to return to the Niagara area, La Salle was torn. He actually wanted to stay behind to explore more of Lake Michigan and try to find the mouth of the Mississippi River and claim the land around it for France, but he still didn't trust Lucas, his pilot. La Salle decided to stay behind and send Lucas, his ship, and a crew of 6 men ahead to Niagara. This skeleton crew was instructed to stop at Fort Michilimackinac, which is just around the bend, to store most of the cargo, and La Salle would pick it up when he returned. From there, he would head back east. The crew and Le Griffon left Green Bay on September 18th, but were never seen or heard from again. The ship and all aboard, including the furs, vanished. There was no clear consensus as to what happened, only rumors and stories, a true history mystery. One of these rumors is that the ship was lost in a violent storm, which is plausible as there was a storm reported in Lake Huron the day after Le Griffon left. Some believe the ship was set upon by fur traders who stole the furs and then sank the ship. Still others believe that Ottawa or Potawatomi warriors murdered the crew and then burned the ship. Lascelles blamed Lucas. He theorized that his former captain sank the boat and stole the goods. To this day, there's no conclusive evidence as to what happened to Le Griffon or the crew, and including where it went down. But legends and stories continue. Some sailors even claim to see Le Griffon on the murky waters as a ghost ship. Not all was lost for LaSalle, fortunately for him. Le Griffon did lead the way to modern shipping in the area, and he himself continued exploring the upper Midwest. He is now known for claiming much land for France in this area, including the Mississippi watershed and the land between the Allegheny Mountains and the Rocky Mountains. He also explored much of the northern part of the Great Lakes. Today, the mystery still intrigues historians and treasure hunters alike. Many claim to have found the mysterious ship, but evidence is still inconclusive. The most likely location is an 1898 discovery of a wreckage by lightkeeper Albert Cullens on the western edge of Manitoulin Island in northern Lake Huron. Will we ever learn what truly happened, or did all of this information sink with the crew to be forever lost? Will it remain one of the many mysteries of history, or will an adventurer continue to search for the missing clues and eventually find this ship? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.